Alright, what's up, everybody? This is going to be the regional championship predictions for Europe. And before we start the video, yes, I know I messed up in the last video. It's a best of 7, not best of 5. I just completely forgot. Like, I knew it was best of 7, and I just continued as if it was best of 5. It just completely slipped my mind. What was funny is I even looked at the bracket from the previous season, and I saw the 4-2s, 4-3s, and it didn't even register. But you know what? That's what I would get for recording these videos at 5 in the morning sometimes. So, thankfully, you guys in the comments section told me that I was a dumbass and set me on the right track. But yeah, as always, if you guys do enjoy, hit subscribe. Actually, I did want to say thank you guys for the support on these videos. We've been gaining, honestly, a shit ton of subs lately, more than usual. You guys have been really enjoying, I guess, just the stuff I've been making, and I just wanted to say thank you. Not to sound like a dumb sellout, but like, I just think it's really cool. We're on the road to like 1,000 subs, so now let's get right into it. And I got a comment in the last video that you guys did want to see the visuals like on the bracket. So what I'm gonna do is I have my second monitor up, which I'll scroll up and down, and then I'll just keep this one steady right here. Or actually, okay, I'll do this so you can at least see some of the results. All right, let's get right into it. So, yep, let's start with lower round one. Veloce versus FC Barcelona. FC Barcelona not looking too hot towards the end of the season. They cooled down. They looked amazing towards the start, but then at the end they were going 5 games with like all the low tier teams. Week 8 they went 5 games with TSM. Week 7 they went 5 games with ASM, and then Singularity week 6. They went 3-1 against Endpoint, 3-2 against Dig. They lost to Dig, obviously, but not looking so hot since the beginning of the season. Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't 3-1 against Endpoint. It was 3-0. I was looking at Rec versus Endpoint. It just cooled down definitely towards the end. I think Ronicky and Flakes just both weren't striking like we were normally used to them. It was kind of after that match where Devo had to make an insane amount of saves. They kind of cooled down, but maybe they'll pull something together for the regionals. But then Veloce, towards the end, I mean, they lost their last 3 games in a row. At least FC Barcelona won them. The last game they won was against ASM, Singularity, and Endpoint. Those were the last 3 games they won. And TSM, yeah, the only top tier team that Veloce beat was Reciprocity. So honestly, with those results, I can't go with Veloce. Even though FC Barcelona cooled down, Veloce only has 1 win over top tier teams. They did go 3-2 against Vitality in the last season, or in the last week, I mean, and 3-2 against Dig in the last week. But I mean, it's so hard because they didn't get any. The only wins that they do have are against the lower tier teams. I'm gonna have to give this to FC Barcelona. I'll give it 4-3 just because, you know, now that I think about it, Barcelona only has 1 win over top tier teams too, and it's Reciprocity. So yeah, man. I'm switching. I'm gonna have to give it 4-3 in favor of Veloce, just because I mean their results are honestly the same, except Veloce did better against top tier teams. It looks like over the course of the season, and it looks like they were a little hotter towards the end. So Veloce gonna have to go with 4-3. Yeah, because of just how they've been playing against the other teams, I think they'd take this. It could even be a 4-2. So Veloce are gonna move here, and then let's go Rec versus Mouse. I'm sorry, I think Rec are gonna take this 4-1 without Scrub Killer. I mean, they did look good in the last week, but I mean they only played Barcelona and Endpoint Mousesports. I think with playing against Reciprocity, who one of the only 2 teams in the world to beat Dig, I don't think that Mousesports has a chance. I think that's an easy 4-1, 4-2, but I'll give it 4-1. I think they'll take a game. Arju will pop off, Speed, Cookser will pop off, but yeah, I think Rec will be too good. So it'll be Mouse versus Veloce in the lower quarterfinals. Rec will move to face Dig. Now let's go over the lower quarterfinals. We'll do so Veloce versus Mousesports. And you know what? I'm going to give it a 4-2. I think that they'll perform a bit better against Veloce, but I don't think that they have what it takes to beat Veloce, especially without Scrub Killer. Probably one of the top players in Europe. He definitely, Scrub Killer fell off this season. Like, I didn't even have him in my top 10 list, but he's still, I think, better than all the players on Mouse. Scrub versus Arju, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. Veloce will move on semifinals. Yeah, I didn't need to talk much about that. Yeah, it sucks. I'd have a lot more to say about the Mouse matches if Scrub was still on the team. But I mean, I just can't see them winning. Veloce will fight Vitality, and Rec will fight Dig. Let's go Rec versus Dig, the upper semifinals. It's not really the upper semifinals, because if you lose, you don't go to the lower bracket or anything. And for those of you who are wondering why, it's because top 4 make worlds, and that's all that this bracket is really designed to do, to see who makes worlds. So once you're in top 4, you make worlds, and it doesn't matter after that. So I mean, obviously the first seed and third seed matters, but they don't really care about third seed, because fourth seed and fourth place in NA and third place in NA pretty much get the same type of matchup. This bracket is designed for a world championship spot, not to figure out who's the third best, fourth best. So let's talk about Dignitas. They have Astral, who, oh my god, especially towards the end of the season, he was just so on fire, dude. My favorite part about Astral is that I feel like he kind of reinvents the game in terms of what's possible. And I say this in a lot of my videos. He just mechanically, he gets these touches that just blow my mind, that I would have never trusted anyone to get. And then his teammates trust him, and they're so good. They're so patient. They have the best vision in all of the game, because they see each other. They understand where to put the ball to make it more awkward for their teammates, and more awkward for their opponents, as well as easier to hit for their teammates, easier to score. They do such a good job, and I don't think Rec has anywhere near the same level of talent that Dig does. So I'm going to give it 4-2, because I think Dig is a 4-2 team against Rec. I think they are just so dominant, and they're going to move to the grand finals, and Rec will take the 3rd to 4th place spot. Now, what will it take for Rec to beat Dignitas? Well, it will definitely take all of the members of Dignitas playing well. Obviously, Shazette only had 2 weeks, really, maybe 3 weeks, where he played well. Let's see here. It was against Vitality. Even though they lost 3-1, he played very well. All of them played very well against Vitality. Okay, 4 weeks. They played very well against Dig. They beat Dig. I mean, that last game versus Dig, I mean, that's what it's going to take to beat them. It was an insane match of, like, a bunch of shots, a bunch of pressure, good pass game, good outplay game, like, good midfield presence, cutting off Dig's passes. Like, that's what it's going to take. But we have not seen that from Rec all season. We saw that weeks 1 and 2, weeks 5 and 8, half the weeks. It's kind of like a crapshoot, kind of like with Ghost. It's like, are they going to be on, or are they going to be off? It's a 50-50. But I think Dig is the more consistent of the team. And I think that when they're on, I think when both teams are on their peak level, Dig wins. And I think that they'll win. I think they'll win 4-2. But if Rec's not on, this could be a 4-0. I mean, Rec needs to be on. Like, Dignitas is not going to sit there and let you take a game off them. They're shooting for a 4-0. I mean, there's a ton of money on the line. And you guys were wondering how much money is on the line. I got a comment in my last video about how much money's on the line, and then how does teams split it. Well, there's an extra $100,000 for the prize pool for North America and Europe. So there's that. First place gets $96,397.36. Second place gets $66,397.36. And third to fourth gets $42,897.36. The teams split it evenly. The players will split it evenly. I think that some might go to the org, like in their contract there might be like a percentage that goes to the org. Obviously, I don't know what their contracts say, but like it generally is gonna be like a 20%, maybe 15% to the orgs. But yeah, and then it's gonna be did I go? No, I didn't go over Vitality versus Veloce. Now Vitality. All 3 of those players I had in my top 10 list, and a lot of people were saying that Fairy Peak probably deserves to be higher, and I can definitely agree with that. I could definitely see him being a top 5 player in the world. I don't know, man. There's all these players are so nuts. It's just so hard to place any of these players on a top 10 list because they're all so good, and like, oh my god. Yeah, but I think Vitality takes this easily 4-2, dude. Like, and I think that the only way Veloce has the slightest chance to compete with Vitality and make it a 4-3 is if they are on. They need to be more on than they have all season. They need to do you guys remember that very last game? Because Veloce and Vitality did play in week 8, and it was one of the best games of league play, and they're gonna need to play like that to compete with Vitality. But I think that was the best we've seen Veloce play, and it still wasn't enough to beat Vitality. So I don't think that Veloce has what it takes at all to beat Vitality when they're on. And Vitality have been on every week, except for the first couple. They struggled. They did struggle. They looked shaky against Endpoint and lost to Singularity, but then, yeah, week 3 they dominated TSM, Barcelona, all the teams. But yeah, I think Vitality will take this 4-2. And what does Veloce have to do to beat Vitality? And man, well, they're gonna have to play the best Rocket League they ever have, because what we've seen from them isn't enough. It really isn't. Like, the best player on Veloce, when they pop off, isn't even, in my opinion, as good as the worst player on Vitality. They're just so good. They're just so good. It's gonna need to be Veloce playing out of their mind and Vitality looking a little shaky. That's just the only way. But honestly, we're looking at a team that is so good that it could possibly rival the Dignitas era if they continue to play the way they have. Like, that's how good Vitality is looking. It's just, I can't see them losing. So that brings us to our grand finals, Vitality versus Dig. And I mean, like I said, man, Dig does have the most potential to beat Vitality. They won 5 games against them in week 6. An insane match. And I'm going to have to say that if both teams are on, Dignitas is going to need to go a little more above and beyond. And they're going to need to, I mean, Alpha 54 and KDOP, just their ability to outplay their opponents and get the ball in the middle for Fairy Peak is just unheard of. Like, you know, when you watch Vitality, you know, most teams you watch and you think, okay, this is like the defender, this is the attacker, this is the guy who sets up the plays. Not Vitality. It's all of them do it just well. I think Fairy Peak will pass the ball a little bit less. He's definitely the striker. Because, I mean, he's the best at putting the ball in the back of the net. I think just above Cookser. I think Cookser's really insane too, but he puts the ball in the back of the net like no other. He just doesn't miss. And he definitely showed that towards the end of the season, that the man doesn't know how to miss, and it's crazy. So yeah, I'm going to have to say Vitality are going to take this 4-3. I think Dig will put up a really, really good fight. But, I mean, Vitality, we're talking about the #1 team in the world right now. One of the most dominant teams we've ever seen, potentially, in Rocket League history. And I can't go against them. I just can't. I feel really bad for KDOP, honestly, because he would have won a world championship again, and he would have tied Turbo Pulsa for world championships and probably taken that accolade as the greatest player to ever live if he did win another one, because of how dominant his season was, how many dominant seasons he's had. And so he kind of got cheated out of it because of coronavirus, but hey, if they keep playing like this next season, I mean, he's got this in the bag. He's got his 4th world championship in the bag. But yeah, those are my predictions. Let me know what you guys think. I've been rambling on for 17 minutes, so I did a bit better than with the North America game, or North America series. But yeah, this will still be about 15 minutes of a video. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Again, sorry for forgetting it was best of 7. Today I'm recording this at 7:30, not 5 a.m. like I did yesterday. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.